Bowling Xciting was a fun little simple Series 2000 bowling game, but there turns out to be even more games for the PlayStation 2, a total of 4, each themed after a different sport. This one is Billiards, or pool, if you will, and yes, it's about as exciting as you could expect.
Stop being boring!
The game is just billiards, one-on-one billiards. You don't get to see your characters and there's no one around watching you play. It's just an empty void straight out of the back rooms where you just play billiards forever with a few different game modes to play in and some nice music to boot. For a simple series title, this game controls really well, which shocked me because most of them were terrible in terms of controls. Yet also because it's billiards. How could you make it terrible in the first place? Well, you can make it play like a Nintendo Wii game, for one, as there's a lot of bad billiards games for that system. But whatever, Billiards Xciting just works, using only a few button inputs and relying on your right analog stick to line up and shoot. As for the modes, there's 3 options outside of training, and I don't really care enough about billiards to practice, so we'll just play each mode to see what they have to offer.
It can't get worse, right?
Versus mode allows you to pick your opponent, who's playing, the location, and which game type of billiards you'll be playing. I'll stick to the standard as it's easier to grasp for someone who's about as enthused for the sport as going to the DMV to renew his license.
Ooh, that's bad.
In versus mode, you just play your standard game of billiards. In this one, your goal is to pocket 8 balls first to win. Simple enough, and it's just fine. The controls are really what helps it out, as you align your pool cue with the analog stick, left analog stick, and then align where you want to hit it with your right analog stick, then finally pull back and push forward the right analog stick to hit the white ball. Things just work and the physics are good too. Nothing like total bullshit in terms of how the balls react to your shot, unlike certain 2D games or even earlier 3D games on the 5th generation consoles. Honestly, if I was actually a fan of this sport / bar game, or had it offered more soul and engagement to earn its exciting name, I'd probably keep playing it. Trick mode is a little more interesting as you have to have skill to play this mode. Everything's set up with different kinds of challenges where you need to hit all the balls with one shot into any hole possible. If you fail, restart. It's not bad, but I'm not a billiards guy, so I never could score any shots here. There's a lot of options in terms of different trick challenges. I'll give it credit for offering a challenge mode. So if you want something a bit more, here you go.
Go! Go! Go!
Story mode is needed to unlock new characters to play against and new areas to play in. It also has a tacked on amnesia story. Yeah, that was a huge video game trope in the 2000s, was amnesia and turret sections. I don't miss those. You wake up without any knowledge on who you are and what's going on. You then randomly choose to accept to play billiards with Joe and just play. Yeah, apparently, even though you have amnesia, you're willing to just go ahead and play a game of billiards with some random guy.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Yeah, okay. Using currency to bet and win rounds/shots to get more and more for something, but I never did win to find out. Honestly, it's just a tacky addition that feels pointless.
Why?
The game is just boring. I cannot find any enjoyment in billiards. I'm sorry, I wanted to like this game. I was expecting something good after Billiard Xciting, thinking it was the same developer/series with the same naming in its title. But it's just a soulless, boring game of billiards that controls well enough, and that's it.
No! Well, yeah!
Having to complete every round of story mode just to unlock a new character/area isn't worth it. I just don't see the appeal of it, especially since you don't see your character in game, just the portrait, and that's for the CPU. They also don't really react or talk during the game to make them worth unlocking or deciding who to play against. It's just so... it's just ass.
That makes sense!
And with that, we only have 2 more exciting games to go for the PlayStation 2 to cover. 2 out of 4, and the last 2 are not exactly my cup of tea either, as I'm not a fan of basketball or volleyball. Unless there's anime titties involved.
You're just like me.
So I'll get to the last 2 exciting games whenever I can. Let's end this review already.
Let's go already!
At the end of the day, Billiards Xciting is just borderline average game of pool. It's nothing special nor terrible, but unless you really get off to billiards, it's just not a worthwhile of a game. For a simple series title, it works, it's fine. There's a decent amount of content, but there's just no soul to it. You don't even see your characters. I mean, at least have them in there reacting to winning and losing shots in the games as a whole. You needed more engagement to make this game actually exciting.
All I hear is nag, nag, nag.
So go ahead and play the game if you want. Billiards Xciting is an unoffensive sports game that could have been way, way worse. All I was expecting was a boring game of pool, and while I did kind of get that, it controlled well enough with relaxing music. I'm just not a billiards kind of guy. Give me darts instead, if we're playing something at a bar or tavern for the Euros out there.
Wanker! You're a wanker! Wanker! Right!
Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.